Hello everyone, hope you are doing well. My name is Vikram and I am a visual artist from Bangalore. Today I will cover materials and form of toy and elements of toy design, and later Rahul and Shivangi will join me. So let's begin. Today I am going to discuss about materials and forms of toys. Different material like clay, wood, paper and plastic are used to make toys. Many items are designed to serve as toys, or even you may fold an ordinary piece of paper into an airplane shape and fly it. Some toys are produced primarily as collector's item and are intended for display only. So the earliest toys are made from material found in nature such as rock, stick and clay. Thousands of years ago, Egyptian children played with dolls that has wigs and movable limbs which were made from stones, pottery and wood. In ancient Greece and ancient Rome, children played with dolls made of wax or terracotta, sticks, bows and arrows. When Greek children, especially the girl, came of age, it was customary for them to sacrifice the toys of their childhood to the god. The material you choose plays a huge role in positioning your toy in the marketplace. The performance, cost, and dependability of a toy are proportional to that of the components involved in the making of the toy. The performance, cost, and dependability of those components rely on two important factors: the physical construction of those components and the material used in the manufacturing of those components. Physical construction means the physical shape and dimension of a component or a product. As important as it is, our current focus is on the material involved in the making those components and products. Conduct a thorough market analysis is very much important. If you are developing a physical product, you should start by analyzing the market for competition. Check out the materials your competitors use, then develop an estimate cost for your product and make up your mind on the quality and price you want for the toy. If you are opting for developing an inexpensive toy, the material you select need to be equally cheap. Likewise, if you are looking to develop an expensive toy, then you can opt for the material that best fits the standard of your product. Cost estimation is an essential factor to consider before selecting materials. Selecting the right material is very important. You have to identify the requirements of the design. So the first step is to identify the basic requirement of the toy. Thoroughly understand the performance requirement of the toy. The material selected need to be strong enough to withstand the performance parameters. Understand the reliability requirements. Consider the size, shape and mass requirement of the toy. If the material selected does not comply with any of the stated parameters, you need to rethink the choice of material. Remember the cost estimation, the cost requirement. Don't go for material that blow out the estimated budget of the product. Keep in mind the industrial standards. There are industrial standards regulated on a federal level that every manufacturer must comply with the choice of selecting material for a product. Obey government regulation about the selection of the material for the children. Under no circumstances you shouldn't select a material that forbidden by the government. Lastly, the sustainability requirements. Don't choose a material you won't be able to sustainably source in the future. So now I'd like to share some toys and their material under the category of action figure. Army men. Army men or plastic soldiers are the toy soldiers that are about 5 centimeters tall and most commonly molded in olive green, made with relatively unbreakable plastic. Army men are sold painted green and almost always dressed in modern military uniform and armed with 20th and 21st century weapon. Second one, Playmobil is a German line of toys. The signature Playmobil toy is about nearly 7.5 centimeters tall. Human figures with a smiling face, a wide range of accessories, buildings and vehicles as well as many sort of animal are also part of Playmobil line. Playmobil toys are produced in theme series of sets as well as individual special figure and play sets. they use plastic and rubber as a material. Under the category of cars and radio control, Cozy Couple. The Cozy Couple is a red and yellow toy car manufactured and distributed by an American manufacturer of children's toy. First sold in 1779 as one of the first molded plastic toy car sold in the United States. By 1998, the company redesigned model of its original classic that retained the red and yellow bubble-shaped exterior while adding thicker pillar on the front roof. Among the enhancement including remote control that makes sound of locks, unlocking, as well as the horn beeping, the engine starting, and a car alarm. Under the construction toys, Lego, very popular plastic construction toys that are manufactured by the Lego group. Lego consists of variously colored interlocking plastic bricks. Lego pieces can be assembled and connected in many ways to construct objects, including vehicles, building, and working robots. Anything constructed can be taken apart again and the pieces reused to make new things. Under the dolls, teddy bear. Teddy bear is stuffed toy in the form of a bear, developed apparently by the toy makers company in Germany in the year 20th century. And the teddy bear became a very popular children's toy, and it's made with cotton and fur. So now I will share Indian toy made with wood, and we will try to discuss deeply about the material, color, and the process of Channapatna toy. So Channapatna, which is situated at about 80 kilometers from Bangalore, is famous for producing beautiful bright color wood turned toys. Channapatna is also referred as Gombegala Uru, which means toy town. The artisan preferably use ivory wood, or occasionally they use rosewood and sandalwood to make the toys and then lacquer them. The craft of the toy making originated long back in the town Channapatna by the ruler Tipu Sultan. The Sultan encouraged and patronized toy making artisans during his rule. He invited toy makers from Persia to teach the local artisans and this craft, and since the craft of the toy making is being practiced in Channapatna, the artisan make beautiful turned wood toys and then apply lacquer of bright and vibrant color on it and enhance the beauty of these toys. One of the most basic and essential raw material used in making Channapatna toys is wood. The artisan requires a special kind of wood to make these toys. The wood used in this craft should be light in weight, closely grained, and easy to work with. A particular kind of tree called alamara, which is naturally found in the geographical area nearby Bangalore, is used for making toys. The wood from this tree is suitable for toy making as it is easy to cut, process, and finish. Apart from wood, the artisan also use lacquer of different color to paint the toys. The process of making colors. So first of all, the artisan first prepare vegetable dyes which are dried naturally, and then after dyeing it hardens a little and then it is made into colored sticks. The color are then added to hot lacquer and mixed properly so that the colors blend uniformly with the lacquer. Once the color are mixed, these are then made into sticks and dried. The process of making a toy starts from procurements of the raw material, which is sourced from the local wood suppliers, and then it is seasoned for 1 to 3 months depending on the size of the wood. The seasoned wood is cut and different sizes according to the need. These small pieces are molded on lathe machine with the help of different types of chisel. The wood is shaped in circular or oval shape as per the design. The form is then rubbed with sandpaper in order to smoother the surface. Once the wood is shaped designed from the lacquering process start, the artisan press the lacquer sheet against the wooden piece while it is still on the lathe, and due to the heat produced by the friction while the lacquer gets applied on the wood. So the applied lacquer spread uniformly over the surface with the help of dried palm leaf. This give a wonderful shine and luster to the product. So more about detailed color and the technical about more colors, Rahul Shah will explain in brief.
Hello everyone, myself Rahul Kumar Shaw. I am from West Bengal. I am working as a professional graphic designer and visual artist. I completing my masters from Banaras Hindu University in 2020. First of all, congratulate the guys who selected into a hackathon 2021. Today I am going to explore the concept of color, graphic importance in toy, finishing process of a toy, how to think about your target age group, how you do research, ideation, creative thinking, and futuristic design as well. Earlier, Bikram Paul introduced the material, and later Shivangi Gupta joined me. So let's start with color. When we think about a toy, generally our brain makes colorful images, right? So we need to understand the color psychology as well technical aspects of color. Mean how we select a specific color for specific toys and games. In primary level, there are three color models which we must understand before designing a toy and game. The color models are RYB, RGB, and CMYK. RYB color stand for red, yellow, and blue. The color which we use in pigment form. Basically, this color model used by the traditional toy makers. For example, this showing image is from the Notungram wooden toy cluster. They mainly use primary color RYB in their toys. Sometimes they use secondary color as well, like green, orange, creating different design pattern. So the questions came, why they used primary color generally? First, the color easily made. Secondly, easily create same color in next production without lose the color identity. Third, is easily available and also making itself by the toy communities. So these are some benefits when we think and use RGB color model in our toy and games. Next one is RGB, mean red, green and blue. RGB color model you used when we go to making an electronic device game. So let's understand how a digital image made by RGB color pixels. So the images are made in pixels. The primary color mixed to create different other colors. Here in this slide, the red apple image made by red pixels. We see this color model in our laptops, means LED, LCD, mobile screen as well, and all type of digital electronic screens, right? When colors are mixed, their in value they create white. Means when RGB color in value they create white, when they mix together they create white, and where is no color it seems black. Means generally we start our LCD or mobile screen, then we see a different type of color, but when we shut down or off our mobile, then we see black, because where there is no color in black, and when we see open our mobile, then we see different types of color which is made by the RGB pixels, right? So how you choose different color value when we create a design? So we count RGB value from 0 to 255. Means you select your color between 0 to 255 amount. So And yes, you always select your color to put the number in RGB value panel. As well, your identity, your identify your prepared colors by their hexa code, which is shown the bottom right of the color panel. The third one is Cmyk color model. The Cmyk color stand cyan, magenta, yellow and black. Black is a key color. The cyan model, the Cmyk model are very important when you think about your design in printed material and printed form. Cmyk color model mainly used in print sector. We operate these colors through subtractive color mixing. Cmyk color model uses a pigment through different printers. As you see in this slide, the printed image made by using the different layers of Cmyk. So in your design, how you select your value. Cmyk color value count from 0 to 100. Earlier when we see that RGB color value, we count between 0 to 255, but here we count our color value from 0 to 100, right? So here I am selecting cyan, which has in 100% color value. So this playing card design created by using Cmyk color model as a digital printed form. So when we think our design in printed one, you go with this color model. The design and production is really cost effective if we think our game idea in printed form. Cmyk model play huge role in packaging industry also. Means when we go to our toy packaging, that's a huge role to use Cmyk, which is discussed by Sivangi later. So there are three color model which you use accordingly your material and design concepts. So next, we need to understand the psychological aspects of color also. Color consists different meaning in different contexts, like how people experience specific color, how different culture have different meaning in same color. Like in India, generally West Bengal, blue considered as a Lord Krishna. So generally, traditional toy makers colored Krishna in blue color, and this is the iconic blue. When we see any blue doll, then we imagine this is Lord Krishna. So this is a symbolic color in India also. So generally traditional toy makers colored Krishna in blue color. In other side, Western culture, blue is commonly associated with feelings melancholy. Yeah. So in the color context, if you go with the color context, so red used in showing danger as well as show the love. Yellow is fire as well food. That's mean we understand the different meaning of the color in various factor. So how you say this is a good color? So as a designer and creative thinker, you must have aesthetic sense that define this color is appropriate for that design. Means if you have aesthetic sense, then you define the different color meaning and the appropriateness of the color, how you use this color for this particular that design. So all these things are come from your aesthetic sense. So if someone gifted you a toy car, so how you generally think about that car? Obviously, you imagine a shining red, blue, black, yellow, right? You do not think about dull one. So you also think what color is appropriate for your design, right? Also, you need to understand value of color. If you understand the target consumer, so definitely you understand the value of color. Like you make Vaisnava's toy, means Vaisnava's toy for and you target your market and Bengal. So obviously you used blue as a key color in your toy, right? Because your target market have a particular color value. They associate blue with Lord Krishna. So next one is graphic quality. It's important to understand the shape and form of your toys and games. Shapes are two-dimensional like circle, triangle, oval, and forms are three-dimensional like cube, cone, cylindrical. Here you see the cylindrical wood log which transferred in a beautiful toy. In this slide, the overall cube shaped box work as a container that the main USP, unique selling point of the design. The parents' quick response to this toy because of user-friendly thinking and design. Child does not lost any of the toy elements, right? So this one is also example where shapes used to create different structure related to our environment. Next is finishing. The finishing is totally based on your concept, your style, your choosing material, and making process. So here I am creating a traditional toy using paper puff, which you seen in my presentation. First, I collect waste papers and then wet all this paper for 4 to 5 days. After mix with glue like Fevicol, if you use in different types of other types of glue or adhesive, and starting to create shape manually. After completing, it will be go for drying for 2 to 3 days. After that, applying primary body color as white. After drying body color, I apply blue and orange and other ornament color one by one. So next one is most important things which we need to better understanding before making or thinking about toy and games. This one is for whom we create the toy and game. And here the segmentation is age group. So first you think as a marketeer how your design is better for selective age group, who will be your buyers and how we create potential buyers, right? For example, you create a toy for 6 months baby. So in your design or product, what element you think which help your toy easily acceptable? Here your target consumer or age groups are parents who more conscious about their newborn baby. So you need to think about child sense of sight, sound and touch, because baby at this stage will stimulate the sense. You add all these things in your design, so you have ability to think as a designer as well as marketeer. So presently you have a selective idea, so how you improve it? You need to go with the research work. No, just not broad way, but generally you do research. So how you start research? And presently you have a selective idea, and you need to generate more information about your idea. Generally form of data collection is questionnaires. You make a questions into a Google form, then you send with your friends, families and other marketeers, and they advise and they respond to your questions, and then you collect all the thinking of your other friends and all of from marketeers. Then you note down and illustrate this in the physical form and create prototype. Prototype means a physical form of your thinking. It's not a final product. It's just a earlier product. You create a physical form of your imagination. That again you examine your idea as a prototype. So how you examine your idea in a prototype form? So again you go with your friends, family, and possible to local market. So you need to understand double M elements. Double M elements means mind to market. You understand how I think and how our thinking goes in market, and it's run in market. So you most understand the double M elements in mind to market, uh, right? So what should be the creative thinking? How we think a creative. In this slide, I try to show you and explain what is creative thinking, right? Uh, Here example where Hey Clay is a company who make a different types of creative toy. They introduce clay monsters. Here the creative thinking is that a designer made a playful learning activities where children make different types of toy itself. It helped to generate their creative thinking also. So next one is the platform Toy Hackathon, where India present its colorful culture, history, mythology, technology as a form of toys and games to encourage national unity and cultural diversity. And it's our beginning where we design the future of the Indian toys and games for national and global platforms. So we need to think about how our toys and games should be present our cultural unity in diversity, our history, mythological aspects, like for example how we present our Vedic Jnana. So we need to work on uplifting the present traditional toy sector as well, create new design also. Thank you again.
Greetings to all. I am Shivangi Gupta from the Banaras Hindu University, Varanasi, and today we are going to discuss about Indian toy industry's market scenario and the product packaging of these toys. Now, talking about the market scenario, India's share in the global toy market is less than 1%. So, can you imagine that for a country that is the second most populated country in the world? This indicates potential for growth. The toy sector in India is fragmented with 90% of the market being unorganized, whereas only 4,000 toy manufacturing units from the micro, small, and medium enterprises sector. In the world ranking of the toy industry, India has been ranked 8th, whereas UK stays at the top with number 1 position. Indian market was not always dominated by foreign toys. This happened after liberalization. In India, the toy market is dominated by unbranded Chinese products with 90% of the market being unorganized. These Chinese toys do not comply with channel, quality, or safety norms, and thus they turn out to be much cheaper for the Indian consumer. Thus, purchase decision is heavily influenced by the price. So, as per an interview with the manufacturer from Delhi, he said if we remove made in China toys from the market, the local manufacturers will have to scramble to meet the domestic demands. But to resolve these issues, several measures are being taken by the government. Let's have a look at some of them. The government has always been promoting the Make in India concept to boost domestic manufacturers of toys. In February 2021, the Prime Minister of India called upon startup entrepreneurship to explore the toy sector. He urged industry players to support local toys and reduce reliance on foreign goods. He asked the toy manufacturers to use less plastic and more eco-friendly material, in addition to focus on innovation. So, Make in India movement is necessary for toys, as against cheap and poor quality imported toys. Our Prime Minister inaugurated the country's first toy fair with over 1,000 virtual stalls, webinars by state government and knowledge session by experts to boost the sector. While addressing the fair, he pushed the local for vocal agenda and said that most Indian toys are built out of natural and eco-friendly material, which is true. So we can make an effort to make minimal use of plastics in toys and use such materials that can be recycled. To streamline this sector, the government announced product-specific industrial cluster development program in 2020 to build clusters on dedicated specific economic zones and help them become customized, self-sustained ecosystems catering to export markets. Moreover, the government is also providing incentives at each step, from setting up a plant and facilitating key resources at sustained rates to incentivizing running costs with the single goal of attracting investment and building export capacity. Due to lockdown and increase in import duty on toys, the supply of Chinese toys to India has reduced. But at the same time, demand for toys has increased in the past year because the children are locked up in the home and are demanding for more toys. All these factors have led to 25% surge in domestic demand for toys, which manufacturers are trying to meet by scaling up the productions. Parents' purchasing intentions are more inclined towards electronic or mechanical, educational or multi-purpose toys. With evolving trends, there has been a shift from conventional toys to innovative and high-tech electronic toys. The consumer are now preferring buying battery-operated and innovative electronic toys instead of the traditional ones. So there has been a trend in the market which is STEM. STEM is something new which stands for Science, Technology, Engineering and Maths. STEM. So these toys are based on the most advanced trend in the toy manufacturing industries. It focuses on providing fun and education to children and making it relatable to the real world. According to the Toy Association report in 2018, 76% parents believe in STEM-focused toys as their primary way to encourage science and maths developed in young children. So here are some toy segments that are the most popular in the industry. So among them, the soft toys are gaining high traction and are the most popular in the Indian market as they are considered safe and find popularity among children of all age groups. Based on the product type, the market is mainly categorized into electronic, soft and educational toys and some others. So here are some target audiences to whom you can target as a manufacturer. Manufacturing companies or brands, sales channels, vendors or distribution, market research and consulting firms, government bodies such as regulating authorities and policy makers, organization, forums, and alliances related to baby toys. So, some Indian toy markets or by sales channels. So, these are some channels which you should always keep in mind before starting any marketing tactics. Exclusive stores, hypermarket and supermarkets, retail stores, online, and some other. In smaller towns where access to these stores is limited, online e-commerce players like Amazon and Flipkart are helping to bridge the gap through door-to-door delivery. Here are some major giants in Indian market. Fun School, which is powered by the MRF Group. It is the first Indian toy manufacturer. Lego Group. It is a privately held family-owned company with headquarters in Billund, Denmark, and main offices in Enfield, US, London, UK, Shanghai, China, and Singapore. Barbie dolls and Hot Wheels racer cars are sold under Mattel. The company is engaged in designing and selling games, toys, and etc. for children since 1945. The market for branded toy is growing with key players like Hamley standing strong with 127 stores and Toy R Us growing steadily with 12 stores currently operational across the country. So now in the same way, let's talk about the gaming industry of India. Over 50% of the Indian population is below the age of 25 and 60% of the nation's gamers are under 25 years of age. The gaming user base surpassed 365 million in the March 2020 as per KPMG's Media and Entertainment Report. The first 9 months of 2020 saw India's rise to the number 1 spot in mobile gaming downloads worldwide, clocking 7.3 billion installs and ranking in a 17% market share of the install volume as per Sensor Tower's data. India's soaring game industry is valued at $930 million and is number 1 in the world. India has 560 million internet users, making it the second largest internet consumer. Investors can expect a 10-year growth outlook with a $3.5 billion valuation by 2024. Mobile users form an overwhelming 85% of the industry, followed by personal computer users at 11% and tablet users at 4%. Internet penetration is 30%. Inc.42 determined that the revenue of the major Indian gaming and esport companies was $68 million in 2019. Mobile gaming takes the largest chunk of the gaming market thanks to the access of affordable smartphones growing at 15% year by year in the past 5 years in India. High-speed 4G internet penetration and the world's lowest data tariff. Together with the rise of mobile games, these factors feed into India's youth having a growing appetite for content. An Inc.42 report says that the Indian esport audience for the competitive gaming tournaments already rised to 17 million in 2020 versus 6 million in 2017. Localized content for the Indian market. For the past few years, audiences have preferred games with localized content, which allows for a more immersive gaming experience. Games like Indian Rummy, Teen Patti, Andar Bahar, Texas Hold'em Poker and Omaha Poker continues to attract an audience through various online sites. This has also given rise to catered game guides and videos showing how to play, game rules and even strategies. Indian game developers are also building games in multiple languages and themes accelerated to the taste of Indian gaming audience. Here are some possibilities that we should look upon if we are going to create a game. So most gamers are under the age of 24 years, probably due to having more free time at hand and being more tech savvy. Although it is important to note that the gaming is also being adopted among the older generation and there are not much options for them. Also, there has been a statistical study where it shows that the female users are comparatively less than the male users, which gives the sign that we should be creating more games for the older generation and for the female users. Now let's talk about the product packaging. When someone says the word toy, what do you think of? Child, game, fun. The term toy has this sense of excitement, joy associated with it. Then why should its package be any different? Toy packaging is not a child's play. It is more than a box. Like every other industry, the challenges involved in designing the package for toy revolves around three major factors: material, function, and messaging. Picking the right material. So when it comes to packaging material, the practicality, cost, printing, customization, capability are the most of importance. The material quality has an effect on consumer perception. You want the package to resonate to your brand image. You want parents to buy the package. If it appears shoddy, harmful or flimsy, this impression will seep down to that of the product. Parents carefully examine the product based on a manufacturer's display of concern and the end user's well-being. That's because the consumer is a child. Parents take certain factors into consideration when picking a toy, and in this decision, the packaging isn't viewed as a separate entity. It is viewed as a part of the toy. The packaging material has to look and to be child safe, hygienic, BPA free, sustainable and eco-friendly. To be considered good, owning to these packaging products such as paper, monocartons, cardboard boxes, biodegradable plastics are preferred. Giving your packaging a second use is always a great way to innovate as well as extend its life. The packaging to appeal to both parents and children, the packaging should always be unique and to be able to stand out in an extremely competitive toy market. It should communicate with your audience on an emotional level and boost the desirability of the toy. It should be eye-catching and vibrant. The experiment with shapes, you make sure that the packaging has enough space and add supporting content such as logo, age groups of the consumer, the functionality of the toy, content, toy rating and brand details. Making the package functional. The role of packaging is to secure and support the product during transportation and stacking. But it should also make it easy to unwrap and use the product. Without the child throwing a tantrum, the child should be able to easily hold the box. It should not have any sharp edges. Now when it comes to the shape of packaging, usually directed by the toy inside, think about the reusability of the box. That's because one part of your consumer will be those who want to stack their toys back in the box when sorting them. Think about parents who want to re-gift or store away toys once the child grows. There are also toys like board games, card games that need to be stored in the packaging they are bought in. In these cases, the packaging material should be sturdy and long lasting. Displaying the product well is also a function that the package offers. Toys are intentionally packaged behind a clear window to display the toy inside and evoke desire. Interactive options such as buttons or speakers are exposed to allow the product's demonstration without the need to open the package. Being able to see the actual toy rather than an image to be able to engage with it before purchase influence the buying decision. Boosting appeal with relevant visual communication. A very important factor to consider when designing package are the marketing power that package has. You want the packaging to appeal to both parents and children. You want to use the package to sell the brand. Great packaging can give you a higher value. You want the packaging to appeal to both parents and children. I hope that today we have learned about the marketing scenario of toy and games industry in India and also got some do's and don't points about the packaging of toys. So wishing you all the best for Toycathon 2021. Here's Shivagi Gupta signing off.